Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. From headlines, end time headlines, just basically an article on how Trump he's not gonna, deliver any benefits during the government shutdown until they give him what he wants. So hey, we'll just bring out that which precept upon this. This is just a quick one. It just sparked my eye to do a video upon it because showing trusting in the system, basically bringing shame onto the people. It shows that these devils don't care about the people, All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Your brother Assad, back at you with another lesson we will later define. I'll start off in the article. Trump vows the U.S. will not pay. Trump vows the U.S. will not pay any SNAP benefit during the government shutdown. And as I say, that is the longest government shutdown during history. President Donald Trump on Tuesday suggested that the U.S. would not pay any SNAP benefits during the government shutdown, contradicting a court filing a day earlier by his administration. Trump said that the benefits which help feed 42 million Americans will resume only after Democrats in Congress agree to pass a stopgap funding bill that would reopen the government. But surely we know that they really don't care about the people first to begin with. It's all about their bellies and their pockets and their agendas, right? I'll bring out the Isaiah 30. And this here is just photos, posted up by a said brother, things that, you would look into. Let's say this robot's cooked. I will just bring this one. This robot cooks 120 dishes an hour with no staff, replacing an entire restaurant. Because we know these things here is about to soon happen. That is what they're intending, to bring forth machines to get rid of you jakes, right? That is what the government plans. But before I get into the scripture, I'm going to bring out this. What is America's SNAP benefits about? America's SNAP benefits Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is the largest anti-hunger program in the U.S. It's designed to help low-income individuals and families buy the nutritious foods they need for good health. And who are the tail of this society, this kingdom? Who are all the low-income and minimum wage earners across the four corners of the world? Who are the bywords? At the place, jakes, the northern and southern kingdom, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans. And here it is, on top of it, Trump getting rid of you so-called immigrants, and it's mostly Jake, heavily cracking down upon you Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, Colombians, Venezuelans, and soon they're gonna attack the southern kingdom. They're gonna find means to bring come down heavily upon you southern kingdom. Here are the key things to know about SNAP benefits. What is SNAP? What is it? What it is? SNAP provides monthly funds to supplement a household grocery budget It was formerly known as the Food Stamp Program. Yeah, we also has one of that in Trinidad here, where certain low income, families get access to it and whatnot, right? But we know here a lot of these heathens, they take advantage of it down here, they take advantage of it, right? But hey, we know across there, Jake depends upon it, because the average Jake working, like, let's say 3 to 4 jobs for the day, 2 to 3 jobs for the day, just to make ends meet. Pay rent, pay for heat, pay for light, current, all these different things, right? And on top of it, having to purchase food. So this SNAP benefit, it would have been a big aid unto them. And see how it works. Benefits are distributed on an electronic benefit transfer card, which works like a debit card. Recipients can use this at authorized grocery stores, retailers, and farmers markets to purchase eligible food items. And just thinking about it, all of these things will be things that they're gonna set up on that digital ID database system. Right, you want access to these things, well, you have no choice but to take XYZ, or this is the easiest way you're gonna access it. Same thing with the pension, same thing to go to these groceries, because they're just thinking about it, gradually they're gonna bring that centralization at all things, right? Let's look at the average low-income earners in America.
A precise figure for the average monthly salary for low-income earners is difficult to define, as low income itself is a broad category, and official statistics often report weekly or annual income. However, we can look at data points that define the lower end of the income spectrum in the U.S. 1. The Federal Poverty Level, FPL. The government defines the poverty guidelines, a key measure of low income, based on household size. SNAP and other programs often use multiples of this level, like 130% or 200%, to determine eligibility. Household size. Annual Poverty Guideline, 2024, contiguous U.S. Approx. Monthly salary. FPL's 12. One person, $15,060. 1,255. Two people, $20,440. 1,703. 4 people, $31,200. 2,600. Note, someone earning at the FPL is considered to be living in poverty. Many social programs consider low income to be up to 130% for SNAP or 200% for other assistance of these figures. 2. Earnings for low-wage workers. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, tracks wages by education and occupation, which can indicate low-income earning levels based on 2025 data for full-time workers. Workers with less than a high school diploma, median weekly earnings were about $750. Approx. Monthly salary, $3,250 asterisk asterisk, $750 times $4.33 weeks. Workers in service occupations, often low wage. Median weekly earnings for men were $882 and for women were $706. Approx. Monthly salary range, $3,060 to $3,820. 3. Pew Research Center's lower income threshold. Pew Research often uses income tiers for a 3-person household in 2022 dollars. Lower income household annual income, less than $56,600. Approx. Monthly salary, less than $4,717. Summary of the low income range. Based on these different measures, the average monthly salary for low income earners can fall within a wide range, generally starting just above minimum wage levels and extending up to the low income threshold for a given household size. Poverty level income, around $1,250 to $2,600 per month, depending on family size. Working low income individuals, around $3,000 to $4,000 per month for full-time workers in the lowest wage jobs. Keep in mind, these are gross before tax figures, and the cost of living varies dramatically across different parts of the U.S. Would you like to see the income limits for SNAP benefits, which define the income cutoff?
Yeah, so basically you see, really low income earners. Because some places the rent alone is $1,000 per month, right? For $1,000 a month plus just the rent. So they would actually have to run couple jobs before they could even be able to pay rent, right? But I'm gonna get here some precepts to bring out, right? Because the system don't really care about the poor. The scripture said the wicked persecuted the poor, right? And we know according to the curses, and bring out the curses in Deuteronomy, they're gonna be the head and we're gonna be at the tail, right? Right. Deuteronomy 28:44. He shall relent to thee. You must start at 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So that's why majority of Jakes in low positions, in low, earnings, doing all the dirty work, dealing with the rubbish truck. We always in a franchise, serving the food, all these different minimum wage jobs. Because what the enemy gonna be up high, the heathens, they're gonna own all the restaurants, the businesses, and you Jake's gonna be the dogs in the business. That is going to the curses. And thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee. When Jake ready to buy a little car, or look to build a little house, he has to go to the heathens and their bank to be able to get a little money. And thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. Yeah. Under them. Jumping down to verses 40. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. And what is that SNAP program about? That is the aid with hunger. The low budgeted, individuals, and mostly you Jakes. So you Jakes at the bottom of the barrel in all these societies. Right, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in what? In the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So let me get the Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30, yeah, 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, say the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down in Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. So in this modern day time, the government being a Pharaoh, this place being Egypt, because it is our bondage, right? And they strengthen themselves. They attire themselves with all the little benefits that the government have to offer, that with the government supporting them, it's a part of the livelihood, the lifestyle, whereby that is how they live. So it says here, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So they would trust that the government would always have a EBT card for them, some sort of federal government funding. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. So the same system soon is going to turn upon you and going to aid you. And the trust in the shadow of Egypt shall be what? Your confusion. And you're all going to see it, especially when they come with a MOTV. You're all going to see that you all are worthless and nothing in their eyes. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. Hopefully it is edifying. Just short and sweet to the point. All praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, double answer the elders and the apostles are great millstone. Till the next shalom.